miss her, man. But you can't keep doing this to yourself. She's moved on. Meanwhile, you're out there just walking the streets at night, alone, in a river of darkness.
I slipped away. What if I kept going? What if I don't get up tonight? What if I ride this to the edges, through the darkness to the light? Could I find you there? Could I find you there if I slipped away? What if there's no answer? We're all just hearts that have to fight through the dangers of the rapids, through the darkness to the light. Could I find you there? Could I find you there if I slipped away?
Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, Halloween, October 31st. Hope you all are having a fun, safe Halloween. I hope you plan to. We did our, trick-or-treating and Halloween festivities yesterday, so normal day here. So yeah, made a little bit of progress last night and yesterday on the stream of this character commission. Gonna try to really make a good chunk of progress here. I'm hoping to finish it today, just to kind of get one more out of the way here. Let's see here. I'm gonna move this here for a sec. I'm actually going to merge that. Trying to just condense everything down a little bit more. Yeah, so last time we were working on this character. A couple areas. There's still highlighting, obviously. There needs to be a little more pop everywhere. But the veil is pretty much done. I just gotta add like the pattern that's in it. I'm happy enough with it. Doesn't look like a trash bag anymore. And so we got to do highlights, some highlighting. I want to try to make some of the hair pop a little more, just to kind of separate it a bit, make it brighter. Add some highlighting around the waist. I really like how the waist kind of came out. The texture that I kind of got in there is really nice. Yeah, we have like the emblem here, and just kind of details everywhere around her shoes and stuff. Her dress is kind of glittery underneath, so we got to kind of add some sparkle. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of go through and see how far we get. Hopefully we can finish. Just gonna start at the top. Oh, hold on a sec. I'm actually going to do that again. Ooh, that's tricky. Let's see. I kind of like it a little more, seeing a little bit of the red. Yeah, so trying to see what yeah, so I just gotta erase a little bit of the veil, clean it up. So let's do these horns. Oh, I don't want to do it there. Highlights. Where are we? We're going here. Okay. We're gonna pick like a yellowish for the highlight. Just to start, then we'll add our white. I usually say to like when you're doing shadows or highlights, don't like just go straight up black or white. You want to kind of build to that darkest dark and lightest light, because like light doesn't just hit stuff with like white, right? It kind of gradiates outwards, diffuses and stuff like that. So you want to kind of build towards that. I want to stick with my warm, but her horns get like black up here, so I'm trying to and I just feel like the more you kind of play with color a bit with like your lighting and stuff, the more like, I don't know, just the more depth you kind of get out of it. More character you can kind of pull. I think that's a little too much yellow. I'm gonna kind of bring some of that back a little bit. Seth, good morning. Coming in from YouTube. How you doing? I'm glad you're liking her. Yeah, she's coming out pretty cool. I like her. Hope your Halloween's off to a spooky start in like the best way possible. Yeah, it's freaky. Like today, it was like, even where I'm at, yeah, it was like, today it was like almost 60 degrees early morning, and I guess it's gonna be like 75 later, which is like really weird. 80? Holy crap. Yeah, that's weird, man. I still remember, though, a few years back, I did a graduation. I used to work at a college, and we were doing a graduation, and it snowed, and it was like May. And I was like, this is wild. Like, we got like 3 inches of snow. It was wild. That was a few years back. I want to say it was like, oh my gosh, like 8 years now, something like that. But yeah, no, it was still weird. And yep. So I have a gallery going up in starting November 1st. I'm in the Northeast as well. Yeah, no, it isn't uncommon. Yeah, I usually joke about how crazy the weather is around here. We just get snow in every random part of the month, but I don't think I ever saw it as far as May before. I saw it as early as September. But I guess now as late as May. I don't think I've ever seen it past May, though. Yeah, Northeast weather is weird. But I mean, I feel like I can't really complain about it. It's not super bad. Like, our snowstorms get pretty gnarly, but we get kind of lucky with everything else. We don't really get super bad, like hurricanes and stuff. Gotten some pretty gnarly superstorms and stuff like that, but nothing too bad. I'm sure that'll all change in a few years. Stuff's gonna shift around like crazy. Man, you know what? I don't hate drawing hands. What I hate is drawing fingernails. That shit is so weird, and like it never looks right. It takes me a little bit. And like you can clearly tell right now I'm avoiding it. It doesn't have to be super crazy because it's a small detail, but oh, for sure. Yeah, Seth says on YouTube, I'll take snow over hurricanes, earthquakes, etc. Yeah, I totally agree. Especially now, with my current work situation. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with snow. I hate driving in it, but you get kind of used to it. It sucks though. People get nuts when they get like a big truck. All of a sudden they think they can do whatever. People are like, 4-wheel drive, I can go wherever I want. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. I've seen trucks spin out before. My favorite thing though is like when like local news starts talking about like big snowstorms. All-wheel drive, not all-wheel stop. Oh, that's so good. Sorry, my restream just crapped out, so I just gotta log back in. I don't know if that messed up my stream. Oh, come on. All right. Which one of these are buses? Yes, thank you. Oh, please check all the images. Oh my god. Guys, I'm streaming right now. I don't want to check all the images. Are we done here? Good lord. It's so weird. I'm doing a captcha while I'm trying to stream. Yeah, no, it's wild. I do love local news. When there's a snowstorm, you get some random dude out there. There was one time they're always out there with a yardstick measuring how deep the snow is. But there was one time the guy didn't have it, he forgot it. So he's using one of those car the car brooms that get the snow off the top. They were using that to measure. I'm like, there's no reference there. You're not telling me how deep it is. It's one handle deep. And so he's trying to eyeball how deep that might be. He's like, it's 8 inches. I thought that was really funny. This is just so sad. And it's just the best. I feel like snowstorms are the equivalent of it's the equivalent of when a football team is blowing out the other football team, so then they bring in the people that they're trying to train to give them some in-game time. That's kind of how I feel snowstorm coverage is. You get the one meteorologist who's the ace, right? And then you have all the other people that are there just to kind of get used to TV time, because no one's, everyone's busy shoveling and stuff. I don't know. They're just trying to. But the people that have been doing it for decades don't want to come in. It's just so funny. I love it. That's the shit I look forward to about snowstorms. Which is pretty telling of my age. It's the weather I'm looking forward to. It's pretty sad. I do think I'll never get a newspaper though. I think that's one thing I will never do with my age is get a newspaper. We got a newspaper delivered to our house for the first 6 months of living here, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't want this. It's garbage. No offense to newspapers. It's just not I don't know, you don't really need it. It is good for local news and stuff, which is handy, but I don't know, at least the one that we were getting, we were just why do we have this? Sometimes they lean pretty hard politically, and you're kind of oh, okay. Oh, I know what you're doing. So did anyone enjoy Halloween? Well, when does everyone do does anyone do trick-or-treating with kids or anything like that? Or do you give out candy or whatever? Or is that tonight for you guys? It was last night for me. We took our kids out. Went trick-or-treating. They had fun. One house knew it was up. They gave out the king size. Like, I think I saw my kid's head explode when he got that. I don't even think he knew about full-size candy bars until until he got one last night. What the heck? Oh. So we're just kind of going through and cleaning up. Oh, so I was talking earlier about yeah, so I have a gallery going up starting November 1st, and I still have to write like a bio, which is like my least favorite thing. It sucks. I hate writing about myself. So I usually take it like off my website. But I don't know if it's like a long enough one on my website. She's getting there. She's looking good. Again, we're just kind of like cleaning everything up. Just going through, cleaning everything up, doing final details and spots. Gonna go back in, do highlights and stuff. If anyone has any questions about art or the art process that I do, feel free to, send them my way. I'll try to answer them as respectfully and clearly as I can. My Control Z is apparently working again. Don't know why. Don't know how. Couldn't tell you. So to get myself in the spooky season, I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows. And man, I love that show. That show is so good. The show's incredible. It's so goofy. I never saw the movie, and apparently the movie's very good. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm up to, I want to say, I'm like midway through season 3 now. I'm going fast through them. I did that with the Venture Brothers recently too. I rewatched all the Venture Brothers because I never watched the final, like the movie. Man, what a good series that is. Some jokes don't age well, you know. They use a couple terms that aren't really, you know, up with modern times, but the show, like the concepts, the ideas of that show are just so brilliant. But yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is very funny. We also finished up Only Murders in the Building. That show is incredible. I really like this season. My wife wasn't super happy with, like, you know, who did it, who did the crime or whatever in this season, but I thought it was good. Probably not like the most clever, you know, it was a pretty straightforward, you know, answer. But sometimes it is, I guess. I don't know. I enjoyed it though. And I've also been playing the, I've been playing the Pokemon TCG, abridged TCG Pokemon. It's very abridged. It's good though. But yeah, it's just not what I expected. If Ethan comes on, I'll go into depth with it because he was asking me about it yesterday. Because I guess he was playing it. I'm curious what his thoughts were on it. So this is also like a... Gotta look at the character reference again here. That's all right, Seth, man. You gotta work. You do your thing, man. Sneaking in the stream watching while you're working, dude. I appreciate it. Don't get in trouble, though. And yeah, no, her hair color's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's supposed to be a little more purple, but I kind of like the blue where it's headed, so I don't know. Maybe they'll forgive the slight color difference. I don't know, maybe I could throw in a little more purple in there. Let's see. Let's see if I can throw in a little bit of purple. I'm gonna just do a quick thing just to kind of see how it would look. If I do a little bit, I think it'll be all right. Multi-monitors for the win. Yeah, dude, I love multi-monitors. I got in that game, sure, as well, for sure. No, it's weird. Once you kind of do that, you kind of forget what it's like without one. Like my tablet upstairs, I just use that for drawing. So like, I don't really need multiple monitors for just that. But yeah, no, it comes in handy for any other instance. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I feel like that's why I stick to just doing drawing on my tablet upstairs, because it's like, if I'm doing anything else with it, like shop stuff or other contract work and stuff, I just, yeah, no, I can't bounce around on one. I feel like I need the two. All right. So let's finish the pattern on the veil here. Just kind of get that done. It's just kind of like some swoopies, you know. I'm not gonna go super intricate with it. So like, I talked about this a couple streams back, that like, if you're looking to do like really detailed fabric, you could always do just like find a pattern on like a texture website or something, and you can put it on there and warp it and stuff, and then erase it to match in spots, which I do sometimes. But if you're looking to just kind of like paint your own thing, your focal point isn't necessarily, I mean, unless it's the details themselves, like you're still trying to draw focus to like whatever your focal point is. For me, it's like the face or whatever. So like the details of these, you just kind of want to have the illusion of like a pattern or a detail. Like you don't necessarily need it to be super precise and high detail and all this. So you just kind of go in and do like really loose textures and stuff. And when you kind of look at the whole piece, you kind of see like the intention of the pattern, and that's kind of like the point of it all, if that makes sense. You're just kind of creating that illusion of really big details. Like there are some artists that like really go hard in the details, and that's so sick, but I don't do that super often. I like doing details, but I also kind of like things to kind of stay a little loose, feel a little more brushy and painterly, so I keep them pretty minimal. Like even that right there, I'm like, that looks pretty good. I might do a couple in like this gray, this lighter gray hue to kind of bring some of that pattern forward a bit. Not too much, because you don't want to, again, draw the eyes away too much. You want them to start at the focal point, then wander a bit, then come back. And we actually have a pretty cool flow going on with this piece. I don't really talk about it too much, but like, start at the focal point of the face, which is like the brightest part, or has the most shadows around it. And you can kind of go down and draw your eye. The sash might counteract a little bit. I'm not really sure, but like you kind of go down, you follow the dress, follow it back up to the fan that's literally pointing at her face. That kind of helps keep the eyes focused on where they're supposed to go. You can always break these rules and stuff. Who gives a shit? You know, you just do whatever you want. Like it's art. But it helps to kind of know them, though, in terms of like your composition and stuff. I'm not a stickler for rules and stuff for art, you know, like as long as it's human made. I'm pretty cool with however you get to wherever you get. If you think it looks good and you're happy with it, whatever. I'm not saying people aren't allowed to criticize artwork. I criticize artwork all the time. But there's a polite way to do it. There's a way to give feedback without being a total jerk. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Is this something I can fix? No, I think we're in it now. That's okay. I'll just go to a different layer just in case. Like, what I was taught in school was always like a really important thing I was taught in school is like how to give a critique, you know. So like when you're looking at other people's artists, it's a pretty vulnerable thing to like display your artwork for people to like look at, right? So if you're another artist, at least, I mean, everyone should friggin' do it this way, but not everybody does. But like you start with something good, you give a little feedback if they're looking for it. If they're looking for feedback, great, give the feedback. And this is how you give the feedback. You start with something good, give the feedback, the thing that you are concerned with or think should be altered in future pieces. And 3, end with something good. So it's like you say like, oh, say you're critiquing this piece. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna like do a full-blown critique, it's not even finished, but you could just be like, oh, like I really like the colors that you pulled out in this piece, the textures that you pulled out in this piece. It looks really nice. It all kind of comes together really well. And it's like, oh, but I do think the dress looks a little incomplete. I do think you could push the highlights a bit more, but overall it looks really great, and keep it up. Like even something like that, like it's not super, I feel like it's not super helpful, but it's still like, even that is better than be like, this is good or this sucks. Like it's not constructive at all. Even if you're given a compliment, it's not constructive. Like, why do you like it? Like, help us grow together, you know? Like, even if you're commenting on an art post on Twitter, right? At least me, when I see art that I like, even if you just say, this is rad, like, okay, like, I do that a lot, you know, just to kind of be like, this is cool, move on. And that's fine. But you could also just be like, man, I really love the texture of this. It's so good. Like, to be specific about the thing you like. And you could even say that, like, I'm mostly saying that about pieces that you may not even, like, love. Like, say there's a piece you see that you're like, oh, this is, ugh. Like, I challenge you to try to find something you like in it. And, like, leave a positive comment that's about the thing you like. Hell yeah, she's a teacher. Seth saying my wife had to teach me that process. She's a teacher. Hell yeah, teachers rule, dude. Tell her she's doing awesome work. I don't even know her, and I bet you she's incredible. So tell her I said thank you for being a teacher. My wife's a teacher as well. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like, say there's a piece that you don't like. It helps you understand why you don't like a piece, or finding what you do like a piece. Edging on the side of positivity is so much better than just being negative all the time. So it's like, if you find a piece that you don't like, look at it for a little longer and try to find something you do like. So it's like, say you don't like this piece at all, but you're like, you look at it a little longer, you're like, man, it's just like not something I like. But then you can be like, but the colors are pretty good, or the texture is pretty good. And you can just comment, if you're commenting on social media, just be like, hey, loving the textures in this. Great job. And that's it. Like, you don't even have to like the art. But at least you didn't ruin their day by being like, this shit sucks. Like, you know? A little bit of positivity goes such a long way. Because it also helps them understand, like, maybe that's something they don't need to work on as much. That's something that they are good at. So then you're giving a little bit of positive feedback and helping them kind of narrow down their focus of what they need to work on. Because I think we forget a lot that, like, artists are also humans. Well, for the time being. For right now, they're humans. And we forget about that a lot of professions, though, too. It's like, when we're on the receiving end of a service, we tend to forget that there's a human on the other side making the thing for the service. And it's like, they have feelings, they have lives outside of that. So it's like, when you're critiquing a thing and you're giving criticism of a thing, it's okay to think to yourself, this person's also human. How can I do this without being an asshole? It's really easy when you think about it a little deeper. I'm not expecting everyone to love my art all the time. Like, that's really naive to assume that. But I do expect people to be respectful all the time. I would like that very much. And that's not a dig on literally anybody in chat right now. I'm just talking in general. I see it all the time on the internet, like on social media and stuff, and it drives me nuts. I still don't understand how my Control Z is working again. Yeah, so I tried that Pokemon app. I dig it. I think it's pretty good, but I don't love it. And it's just because I thought it was one thing and it ended up being another thing. And that's my own problem. But I think just to kind of do a quick rant about it, right? What I love about it, it's efficient. It looks great. Animations run smooth. It runs really good on a phone. You know, it's like, it's not clunky. What I don't like, the tutorial is really annoying and takes forever. I don't love the Marvel Snap way to get cards. Like, I just think it takes forever to do the same. Like, it's like I got so many cards yesterday, but the way to do it was so tedious. It was just whatever. Another thing I didn't like is that, like, I didn't expect it to be a more streamlined version of the game. I'm sure I missed a direct that talked about it or something. But yeah, it caught me off guard when I was like, wait, there's only 20 cards in this deck. So I'll break it down for people that haven't played it yet. In your typical Pokemon trading card game, you have 60 cards. And essentially the breakdown is like 20 energy cards, 20-ish trainer / support cards like items and stuff, and then 20 Pokemon. So like, that's kind of how you build your deck. In this game, they're like, oh, and in this game they do 20 cards, and the energies are just, you get one around every time. It's like, here's an energy, now play your card. Here's an energy, now play your card. So it's very streamlined. What I don't like about that, well, first, the thing that I do like about that is it does make the battles quick, and it does, it makes the battles quick. That's literally all it does. It doesn't really do anything else. What I don't like about it is that it kind of takes a really important aspect of the Pokemon trading card game out of the Pokemon trading card game. And that is like trainer cards. There's not a ton of them in this. Most of them are just drawing more cards. Like trainer cards are gone. There's a lot of, well, from what I can tell so far, trainer cards are very limited. Like they don't do a lot of stuff. And none of them have anything to do with energies, because they got rid of how energies work. They changed it. And there's not any Pokemon that do any energy manipulation, which is like my biggest gripe. There's like, a perfect example is there was, I can't remember the name of this Pokemon, but like essentially he would transfer damage for every dark energy he had on him. He would like take an energy away from the other Pokemon or something like that. There's not a lot of that in this game because there's no trainer cards that also let you take energy from your discard pile, put energy into the discard pile on the other side, blah, 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 all that stuff. That whole aspect of the game is gone. So it's like, that's like a third of the game. So as far as I can tell, unless I'm just not deep enough into it, there's not a lot of energy manipulation tactic in the game, which in my opinion, is a huge aspect of the original Pokemon trading card game. But again, like, now that I know that it's basically an entirely different game, I'm kind of going in it with a different mindset that it is. It's still a bummer. Like, it still bums me out because I think a lot of people that were fans of the game have been waiting for a long time for a game like this to come out. And then I feel like I think there's a lot more people that probably feel this way than I do. Like, it wasn't what they expected it would be. And again, that's not bad. Not bad. It's just a bummer. You can be excited about a thing and disappointed at the same time. And that's how I feel. I feel excited and disappointed at the same time. I'm excited to keep playing and try to build a cool deck, build the depth. I was just kind of hoping they would have gone the Magic the Gathering route, where it's like straight up the card game, but they made like a Marvel Snap. I was gonna call it Pokemon Snap. There's already a Pokemon Snap, but it's basically a Marvel Snap version of Pokemon. Dude, I'm telling you, I agree, but I like Pokemon more. Like, I play Magic the Gathering. My favorite is Lorcana. Lorcana is my favorite out of all the trading card games. I would say Magic the Gathering is probably third for me. Because Pokemon trading card game, once you kind of get into the depth and get into the mechanics of energy manipulation and trainer cards and all that stuff, it's way more complex than it actually is. Like battling with monsters is the least complicated part of the game. There's so many other aspects to it that are so much more fun. And I think Magic the Gathering is great, but I do think it's a little convoluted. Like, I think it's like a little it's a little too dense. Oh, it's your high school mentality. Yeah. Seth, I agree. I kind of always thought that, like, what was funny was, like, I feel like I was the only person that I knew that played the Pokemon trading card game. Everyone just collected them and traded them. I just really enjoy card games. I really enjoy the strategy and trying to find like a strategy to make a deck work. I really love that. So I play the big three at least. I would like to try to learn more, but the deeper you go, the harder it is going to be to like find other people that play it and stuff. Seth says on YouTube, wife and I tried to get into Lorcana. Good stuff, just too busy at the moment. Yeah, no, we have gotten into it pretty hard, especially my wife's brother, my brother-in-law. He's really into it. So we play it like almost every weekend. Whenever we see them. But no, yeah, I like Lorcana the most just because, how do I even explain why? I guess I just think that it kind of has the aspects of both that I really like, and they found a really clever way to use it. Like they did. There's definitely mechanics that feel very much like Magic the Gathering. There are mechanics that feel very much like Pokemon trading card game, but they definitely like enhanced it and streamlined it in a way that makes sense. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon trading card game recently. My son has been getting into it, so I've been playing it with him, like the actual card game, and we really like that too. That's been a lot of fun. We've been getting into like combining types and like having fun with that, trying to mess around with that. But so another thing, like another little critique is like you have a maximum hand size in this Pokemon app. It's 10 cards, so that eliminates another aspect of certain Pokemon where like you get more powerful with more cards in your hand. So it nerfs them, like caps them. Because as far as I know, there's no maximum hand limit in the actual card game. And they only do 3 prize cards. Well, 3 points. They don't do prize cards. They do 3 points instead of 6 points and or prize cards. But yeah, I want to get deeper into the game before I can be like, before I really have super strong feelings about it. Because I'm having fun. It's like not like, it's not a problem. It's more just like it's disappointing because I expected it to just be the card game and it's not. It's a different thing. And it's really jarring because like you're playing the card game but you're also not playing the card game, so it's really weird. Because like I was talking with my brother about it and he was like, you just got to go in there with the mentality of like, it's like not the trading card game. It's like a different card game they made. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But like, if I have a card that is a literal card that I could buy for the trading card game, it's hard to like have that detachment, you know? Because like those cards exist in the real world in a different game. So how am I supposed to like, I don't know. I get what he's saying though. You just got to kind of go in with more of an open mind and not don't think too hard about it. But I also think it's fine to like, you know, criticize things and think about things critically and wonder like, oh, why'd they do that choice? I mean, they clearly know what they're doing, right? Maybe they saw this as like a good like middle ground to like get a game out there that isn't the exact thing of the game, because maybe they would think it would affect card sales if they made it the exact game. I don't know. Seth, thank you for coming by the stream. Good luck in your meeting. And nice chatting with you. Seth is watching over on YouTube because we're also streaming over there. I usually post it in the Patreon. I didn't this morning though, unfortunately. I kind of dropped a ball on that. But yeah, every stream is also on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/creativeoutpouring, the YouTube side of the streaming is usually over there. And it's much easier to share that URL than the YouTube URL. So YouTube's really done some weird stuff with their URLs. I don't know. There's something. It makes it hard to share it on social media because you have to include an @ and if you do that, you just end up tagging like a user name. I don't know. It sucks. We're getting there. It's coming together. I think I gotta shrink that tail down a little bit, the tip of that tail. It's a little crazy. Yeah, it's a little big. All right. Probably wrap up in like 15 minutes. All right, I think we'll stop there. I'll pick this up off stream when I work later. We're almost done. I'll be sure to show the finished one in the commission update next week. I don't know when we'll be streaming next. I'm going to try to do Monday. I don't really know what the schedule is looking like. I'll post the schedule on patreon.com/creative outpouring if you want to check that out. That's a public post. You can go look at that for free. You can follow for free as well. We're trying to get to 50 followers. We're almost there. We're like 11 away, which is huge because I think we started the year off with only like 20 or something. So we're doing pretty good. So yeah, 11 away from that goal. If you want to follow it, you can follow for free or for paid tiers for bonus stuff and more behind the scenes stuff. Patreon.com/creative outpouring. It's at the bottom of the screen here as well. Thank you all so much for coming by the stream. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, we'll see you soon.